welcome. We're here at the Fresno Veterans Memorial Auditorium for a special edition of the Munro Review on CMAC, and it's all about the musical Matilda from Children's Musical Theater Works. And we're going to start off with who else? Our Matildas. Welcome. Thank you for being with us tonight. So why don't I get you to introduce yourselves?
I'm Hannah Williams.
And I'm Kate Breton.
And so you are both playing the role of Matilda. Can you explain that to people? How do you share a role like this?
We're in there's three separate casts. She's in Hammer cast and I'm in Cake and Telly cast. So there's 4 performances for Hammer and there's 2 for Cake and Telly. So we both get 4 performances in all to be Matilda.
So tell us about Matilda. What is it about?
Matilda's about a young girl who's really smart girl, and she's like a genius, and then she has terrible parents and a terrible principal, and she gets these psychic powers from something, I guess.
So she has some special powers.
Yeah, she has special powers, and
Now, this all sounds pretty familiar. So this is actually a famous children's book, right?
yeah,
And then it was also made into a movie.
correct.
And then it got made into a Broadway musical. So Hannah, tell us about Matilda's family.
Matilda's family, Mr. Wormwood, Mrs. Wormwood, and Michael. Mrs. Wormwood, she's basically like the dancer, I guess. She loves to be pretty and have her hair all done. And then Mr. Wormwood, he owns a car lot and he sells like bad cars to people.
Cars, okay.
And then Michael, he's just dumb. So
So Kate, do Matilda's mother and father, do they treat her very well?
They don't treat her very well because one reason was because when Miss Wormwood was about to give birth, she didn't realize that she was 9 months pregnant. She was about to go to a champion dance thing, and then she had to miss that because she had to give birth to her baby. And I think the dad was also mad because he thought it was going to be a boy, but it ended up being a girl. And Matilda doesn't really like watching TV. She likes more of reading books and doing problems like math equations. And so her parents are just mad at her for not watching the telly.
So it sounds like she has some issues with her parents.
yeah.
And that's where maybe these magic powers come in. So Hannah, you've been rehearsing this for 8 months. Are you getting antsy? I mean, are you really looking forward to having the show open?
Yeah, because like we've spent so much time on it, and I just really want to get to the performance to see how everything comes together, and it'll probably look amazing.
And it also, though, has given you a chance to really rehearse and really be prepared. What's your favorite song that you sing, Kate?
My favorite song probably has to be Quiet because I actually rehearsed that with one of my vocal teachers before, and it's just a really good song. It's really powerful and it has a lot of meaning.
And tell us about that meaning. So she just wants to kind of get away from her noisy family.
Yeah,
right?
she wants to get away from her noisy family. She wants to have a quiet life where there's no telly, no yelling, no bad principal, and she just wants life to be happy and quiet.
Well, wonderful. Well, I'm very excited for the opening, for it to finally arrive. And it must be really fun for you to be playing the character that the musical is named for. So when you tell people, I'm in Matilda, what do you tell them?
I am Matilda.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Or in the it's hair tonic. For men. Yup. In the slip of a boat, there's a tiny revolt. The seed of a war in the creak of a floorboard. A storm can begin with a flap of a wing. The tiniest mite packs the mightiest in every day. Starts with a tick of a clock, all escapes. Starts with a click of a lock. If you're stuck in your story and want to get out, you don't have to cry, you don't have to shout, 'cause if a little you could do a lot, you mustn't let a little thing like little stop you. If you sit around and let them get on top you, won't change a thing. Just because you find that life's not fair, it doesn't mean that you just have to grin and bear it. If you always take it on the chin and wear it, you might as well be saying you think that it's okay, and that's not right. And if it's not right, you have to put it right. But nobody else is gonna put it right for me. Nobody but me is gonna change my story. Sometimes you have to be a little bit naughty.
And now joining us are the two actors playing Miss Trunchbull, which is interesting because you're both guys. So why don't you introduce yourselves first?
I'm Randy Colruss.
I'm Noah Miranda.
And you are playing the nasty principal,
Yes, Agatha Trunchbull.
Agatha Trunchbull. So Noah, tell us a little bit about Miss Trunchbull.
Miss Trunchbull is a very powerful woman. She knows what she wants and she needs to have order at all times and enforces her will on all of the students, terrorizing them and just leading to overall just pain and torment.
So Randy, she's pretty much the epitome of like the worst principal you could imagine.
Yeah, she is not just a bad principal, she is also a very bad person. She is not very nice to her family members or even strangers. But her greatest hate of all is little children. So that's why she found herself in a school, I guess.
So is there a tradition then of a man playing this character? And how did that come about, do you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure how it came about. I think it's just fitting that she's a hammer thrower. She was in the Olympics, and from the very beginning, I think Tim Minchin wanted this part played in drag to just show how awful this person can be. Although I have heard rumors that they're having Emma Thompson play it in the movie, so it will go back to being a woman.
And that was
perhaps
Tim Minchin.
Tim Minchin, yes, the writer of
this amazing show. His amazing lyrics.
yes.
Amazing lyricist.
So Noah, what's the biggest challenge of carrying this off?
There's just a lot of yelling. It's a lot of work just making sure your voice isn't completely killed by all the screaming you have to do, and then still keep energy in everything you do and anger in everything you do, but not do too much so that there can be like crescendo in just everything she does. So it's not just all attack. You have to have some moments of softness and some moments of peace before the storm and the more anger.
So Randy, what's your motivation, or how do you get that motivation for being so mean?
I just daily life problems, first world problems. If I can't find my keys, that'll be pretty good to set me off. But no, I actually do find it kind of challenging to be so mean to these kids some of them are so sweet and aren't this high off the ground, you know. So, but I guess, yeah, I would spend some time by myself and try to go to this very lonely place I think she lives in.
And I guess it kind of helps to know that she's pretty crazy, right? I mean, she's
yes.
like certifiably.
There is a mental problem that she has. Yes. Yeah.
One of my favorite moments comes in, and I can't remember the name of the song, but she actually kind of neighs like a horse.
Yes.
So I was wondering if both of you could maybe give us your best.
Go
name.
ahead. That's pretty good, huh? Okay.
So we won't tell you the context there. You'll have to come and see the show to find out. But
Right.
It is really one of the truly bizarre moments in the musical, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. She shows her true colors.
And maybe you could both just talk a little bit about the music. It's wonderful. There's some really powerful songs. I'm not sure that Miss Trunchbull gets.
She does actually have
Well,
multiple songs. I don't know how pretty they
The
are.
memorable ones necessarily.
No, there is
Or
the
musically memorable, but there's some
no.
beautiful music.
I would say
The Smell
my
of Rebellion.
Smell of
definitely.
Rebellion is the song that we have. Yeah, but I would say that Matilda's songs are probably my favorite. My favorite lyrics in Naughty are just because this story is written for me. Nobody else but me can change my story, you know. I mean, it's just she can write her own way, you know, and that's just, I think that's really important now for us to remember as adults as well.
So were you both involved with Matilda since the beginning in October?
Yes.
And what has it been like to be in rehearsal for so long for a production?
Oh, it's been a lot of fun. It's certainly longer. It's different than any other production I've been in, just with how long it's taken, and also just how I'm used to GCP 5 days a week, like week on week until you perform. But this, it's been like 1 day a week, just coming in all masked. It's just very different, but it's definitely worth it. I'm excited to perform and be one of the first to hopefully perform live in Fresno.
And how about you, Randy? I mean, you're used to pretty short rehearsal schedules.
Yeah, well, it did really feel like for a while that it just wasn't going to happen, and it kind of felt a little monotonous. But I kind of did like the extra time that we took to really get. I find like I really know this cast very well now, and we're all kind of in sync. So I think I'm excited to see how this will all play out from spending so much time together.
Now, I know that organizing the rehearsal schedule has been really intricate and complicated because of social distancing. You were put in pods.
Mm-hmm.
Are there people in the cast that you haven't actually met yet?
Yes, for me, definitely. Just doing this today, we've been able to practice with multiple casts social distancing together, and there's just different people that I know of that I've worked with before, but I didn't even know we're doing this show because I haven't seen them because they're in a different cast, different pod. So it's been interesting over the past couple of weeks as numbers decline and we're able to get more normalcy, just to seeing all the new faces.
I guess in a way it's almost like shooting a movie where you do your own scenes and then you don't really get to see the whole thing.
Right.
It's
Yeah, I know Mike Buckman's in this somewhere. I haven't had a rehearsal with him.
Well, hey, thanks for talking with us before your performance. I'm really looking forward to seeing the physical transformation that I'm sure will be coming. How long does it take each of you to get ready, or have you tried becoming Miss Trunchbull yet, or is that still to come?
Yes, I've been working with some makeup stuff with one of my fellow cast members, and she's connected my eyebrow and put the makeup on, and it's really, really fun, and I cannot wait to get there because
Yes.
it's going to be so fun to put on the big boobs.
It'll be fun to take on the whole totally different persona from who both of us are in real life and just
Right.
become
Yeah.
just
Right.
such a monster.
And I know, Randy, you have played various famous roles in drag. Noah, have you ever played a role in drag before?
No, I don't think I have. So this is my first time.
Well,
You're in for a treat.
Yeah.
well, thanks, guys.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Yes,
Really.
thank you so much.
Yeah, come see Matilda.
Somewhere on a show, I heard that a picture tells 1,000 words. So telly, if you bother to take a look, is the equivalent of lots of books. All I know I learned from telly, this big beautiful box of facts. If you know a thing already, baby, you can change the channel over just like that. Endless joy and endless laughter, folks living happily ever after. All you need to make you wise is 23 minutes plus advertisements. Why would we waste your energy turning the pages 1, 2, 3 when we can sit comfortably on a lovely bumperlies watching people singing and talking and doing stuff. All I know I learned from telly. The bigger the telly, the smarter the man. You can tell from my big telly just how clever of a fella I am. Take it away, son.
You can't learn that from a stupid book. All I know I learnt from telly, what to think and what to buy. Now, I was pretty smart already, but now I'm really, really smart, very, very smart. Endless content, endless channels, endless charts on endless panels. All you need to fill your muffin without having to really think on nothing. Why would we waste our energy trying to work out Ulysses when we could sit comfortably on a lolly bumpers? What slightly famous people talk to really famous people. All I know I learnt from telly. Bigger the telly, the smarter the man. You can tell from my big telly just how clever of a fella I am. Who the Dickens is Charles Dickens? Mary Shirley, oh she sounds smelly. Charlotte Bronte, do not want to. Jane Austen in the composting. James Joyce, he doesn't sound nice. Ian McEwan, I feel like spewing. William Shakespeare, William Shakespeare. Moby Dick. Easy, Grandma. Come on, everybody now. All I know, I learnt from the bigger the smarter the man. You can tell from my big belly what a very clever fella I am.
So now we're going to talk to Abby Engel, and this is a remarkable little slice of a story that goes along with this production of Matilda, because Abby loves the show so much that she has continued to rehearse it, even though she won't be able to be in one of the performances. So welcome, Abby. Thank you for being with us. Tell us what role you had in Matilda.
I had Amanda Thripp.
And this is one of Matilda's school friends.
Yes.
Then, and she's the one with the pigtails.
Yeah, the long pigtails
The
that
long
Miss Trunchbull
pigtails.
hated.
So Miss Trunchbull doesn't like that. So what happened? You were set to be in the show. Why can't you be in the final, the real performances?
I have to go to Minnesota to see my family because we plan it twice a year because we didn't get to go last year because all the stuff that was going on. So we're going to go this year. And I was literally praying for the show not to end where we were going, but it just happened.
So you had that family trip commitment, and then what did you do? You went to the director and said, "Can I still rehearse?"
It was during school on our little break, and my dad's just like, "So are you still gonna do Matilda?" And I'm just like, "I don't know, I'll think about it." So I went to my mom. I'm just like, "I've thought about it. Can I still do Matilda even though I can't be in the show?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll email her." So
how long have you been in Matilda? Did you start in October?
Yes, I've started in October, yes.
And why do you like this show so much?
I like it because I watched the actual movie on Hulu when I was, I think, 7, and I just fell in love with the movie. I really liked the character Amanda, Lavender, and Matilda. They're my favorite characters.
And is it hard sometimes to come to rehearsal knowing that all this work that you're putting into it, no one will be able to come see you?
It is, but I've been in multiple shows, so I can just conceal the pain and put it into the past, just knowing that I'm at least having fun.
Well, I think that's very mature of you. Tell us a little bit about the character of Matilda, if you could. Is Matilda, is she a good person? Is she a bad person? Is she an in-between?
She is she's in between, I guess. She's naughty, but it's just because her parents and everybody is mistreating her wrong, besides her parents and Mrs. Hunt. No, not her parents, her friends and Mrs. Honey. And she just wants to get payback for Mrs. Trunchbull and her parents because they've been wrong to her.
So it's actually a fairly sophisticated type of message that has kind of a deep meaning to it.
Yeah, it is.
What is your favorite song to sing as a member of the kids ensemble?
The kids ensemble, I actually really, really like singing "The Smell of Rebellion."
Okay, and tell us a little bit about that song. Why are they singing it?
It's like exercising. It's like for phys ed. Miss Trunchbull gets mad at the kids, so she's making them do phys ed, so to work off the pain and the miserable and revolting stuff inside.
And why do you like the song? Is it the words? Is it the dancing?
It's both. I really like the dancing. It's really hard, but it's really fun. And then the words to it, they're just stuck in my head, so I like them.
And do you think that you will want to be in upcoming shows? Is this something you really like to do?
I really like them, so yes, definitely.
And how many CMT shows have you been in before?
I started with Lion King when I was 5, and I'm 10 right now, going on to 11, so 5 shows.
Well, great. Well, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
There's a place you are sent if you haven't been good, and we're afraid of spikes and wood, and this isn't why you want to sit. What you really is right. There are nails on the bottom
So we're here now with the two wonderful actresses who play Mrs. Wormwood, and that's Matilda's mother, and she is truly one of the most bonkers characters in this show. So could you introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Karina Balfour.
And I'm Ella Riaga.
And you both share this role, and so could you explain what that means? I know it's a kind of a complicated structure, but...
Well, since we've been rehearsing as separate casts and different pods and things like that, we've kind of taken turns at working through scenes and working through the songs and the choreography and things like that. Ella's really taken on the hard role because she has to learn all the ensemble stuff as well, because she's doing that while I'm playing Mrs. Wormwood, and I got the easy route here that I'm just Mrs. Wormwood and then I'm not.
So Ella, you play Mrs. Wormwood, and then on the days that you don't play Mrs. Wormwood, you have another part.
I started as just an understudy for Mrs. Wormwood, and then I became a full-time Mrs. Wormwood. So I had already learned all of the ensemble stuff and been put into the numbers and everything. And so I'm still in those when I'm not Mrs. Wormwood, so it's just another level of stuff I've got to do. But I enjoy doing both of it, so.
So Karina, tell us a little bit about Mrs. Wormwood. If you didn't know, if you were introducing her, or talking to someone about her, how would you describe
Behind her back?
Yes, absolutely, because she would do the same thing.
She's terrible. I mean, and that's, I know as an actor, you're never supposed to like view your character as a bad person. Like you see what their motivations are and their incentives and things, but I gotta be honest, I'm a new mom, and saying the lines to our actresses that are playing Matilda with my perspective as Karina being a mom, I go, oh, why is she saying such terrible things? I mean, she's
And we're talking really terrible, like she doesn't even realize that she's pregnant, right?
Right.
Yes.
And then when she finds out she is, she says, please do something about it.
Yeah.
I have a child, I don't want another one. So it's such an opposite perspective and look at life for me to come around to it and really let go of any preconceived notions of motherhood, because she doesn't have any.
So, Ella, have you ever played a character like Mrs. Wormwood, who is this over the top, atrociously awful?
I don't think I've ever played a character like this. She has no regards for how she acts and how it might affect anyone else. She's very self-centered. Karina said she doesn't care about her own daughter. Like, she's pregnant, she doesn't care. I have a baby already. I don't need another one. She's worried about when she finds out she is pregnant. Well, I've got a dance tournament to go to, and that's my main thing. I don't care about my baby. Let me go to my dance tournament. I think she's honestly on another level from most characters.
But we should also say this is all kind of funny too, right?
Sure.
I mean,
Yes.
It's not a tragedy. It's more of a story of this very resilient little girl who figures out a way to kind of deal with these horrific parents.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What has it been like for both of you to have to sing and do most of your stuff in masks? Has that been hard for you?
I mean, I'd say it's difficult at times. Especially in the beginning, you're getting used to it. You've never sung in a mask before. You never danced this much in a mask before. It's an obstacle, but I think, the more time you practice in it, the more you know, oh, certain masks I can't sing well in, or certain masks won't work well for rehearsals. It's a learning process, but I think we've gotten over it, and I think we've found a way to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the reality of where we are, and it's an accommodation to be able to continue to do theater and make art happen. And so it's a small obstacle, I think, when we're allowed to still be together and rehearse and do stuff.
And what about diction? I mean, do you find yourself being extra careful about that?
I think that will definitely come into play more once we're in the theater, because luckily we've been in a small space right now, and we haven't had to worry as much about it, but that's definitely going to be a big consideration when we move into bigger spaces.
And I would also guess that just facial expression can be harder to do when you have a mask. And so much of what the audience takes in is those nonverbal signals that an actor sends out. So Ella, what are your thoughts on that? Do you try to do more with your eyes because of the mask?
I mean, I feel like I think that's one of the only ways that you can effectively get facial expressions across, especially with masks. It's just because it's half your face is covered, and I think pushing your expressions over the top even more, because on stage you have to be more expressive because people are far away and it's not super close. It's not television where the camera's right up close to you. But then you add a mask to it and you've got to push it over the top and make sure that from even far away that people know what expressions you're making when you're not talking, so they can pick up on cues and stuff.
Now, you've had a really long rehearsal period, probably the world's longest rehearsal period. Karina, what has that been like for you? Does it feel like a luxury to be able to work on the character that much, or has it been tough?
For me, it's been a little harder, I think, because you lose that intensity of a quick rehearsal process, and everyone's super engaged and collaborating because we got to get this up in 3 weeks. So I think we've lost some of the intensity of putting the show together, especially with uncertainty of, oh, we're going to change our dates, and oh, we're pushing stuff back, and we're having to take a pause from things. I think it's good that we've persevered in this, for sure, and I'm really excited that we actually have dates now. But it has been hard extending this so much and not having the same kind of intensity in the rehearsal process of we're starting, we're going, we're up. It's just kind of been we're starting, we're pausing, we're continuing to go. We're gonna make something happen. So it's nice to have some light at the end of the tunnel at this point.
And probably for some of the younger kids, it's sort of like when a younger child is looking forward to Christmas and it seems like it's forever.
Yeah.
It's like kind of the same thing. It's
you
like
told your kid, well, now it's 2 months later.
Right. Right. And what has it been like for you, Ella, to have such a long rehearsal?
Well, I think a lot of the stuff Karina said is true. We've lost that intensity, that drive, but it's also I've enjoyed being able to actually just be this character for longer, be Mrs. Wormwood. She's a very fun character to play, and I enjoy playing her very much. So being able to just be Mrs. Wormwood for longer is nice, and then. Stuff like learning the dances for Loud, which is a very extravagant dance number. It's been nice to have more time to do that. Make sure we drill it in, and it's perfect, as good as it can get. So I think that's one of the plus sides to having this long rehearsal period.
And with social distancing, how is the choreography handled? Is it all separate? Do people?
There is no touching.
There's no touching.
Imagine a ballroom dance number with no touching. So yeah, we've made a lot of accommodations for it.
So you've had to get creative.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that is all thanks to Julie.
Julie Lucido, who's your very hardworking director.
Yes. Yes.
Who keeps planning all these different permutations.
Definitely, with amazing perseverance.
Yeah, yeah. Well, anything else that either of you would like to say about Matilda?
We're looking forward to it, finally being in a theater with an audience on stage. I think a lot of us have had some experiences with virtual theater things in this past year and Zoom theater things, and we're anxious to get back on stage and have people in the same room with us, breathing the same air, experiencing all these things, and having fun.
Yeah, there was something really special for me just walking into the empty theater this afternoon. It has been a long time since I've been in the theater. And I look forward to those times that I don't sit on my living room couch and watch Netflix or Zoom or whatever. So it'll be really nice to get back to the live stuff. Well, thank you both. I can't wait to see both of your Mrs. Wormwoods.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
when I grow up, I will be brave enough to fight the creatures that you have to fight beneath the bed each night to be a grown-up. When I grow up.
Just because you find that life's not fair, it doesn't mean that you just have to grin and bear it. If you always take it on the chin and wear it, nothing will change.
When I grow up.
Just because I find myself in this story, it doesn't mean that everything is written for me. If I think the ending is fixed already, I might as well be saying I think that it's okay. And that's not right.
Well, what a great musical performance that was. Thank you for inviting us here, Julie. This is Julie Lucido, the director of Matilda, and I just wanted to ask you, what was it like to come back into this space for the first time in so many months?
Literally the first time, because I was the first in the building, and to have it be completely dark here was eerie, scary, using my iPhone light. And then as you cross the boards, basically, and realize how long it's been since we've all been on the stage or in the audience and communing, it was bittersweet. It's sad, but it's also invigorating, because it's like we're starting to open again, and just, to go to the lights and turn on the lights, and I feel the warmth right now. I mean, it's just we need this. We've missed this, and many of us, it's what makes us whole.
And I'd like to think that the theater is happy to have you back too.
I hope that theater is happy. It was great to fill it with the kids' sounds, singing, the acting, and just hearing them in the dressing rooms, and just playing and being kids and being actors. We get to play. This is our playground.
So tell us, when does Matilda open and how long does it run?
It opens June 11th. It runs through June 20th. So we have 8 performances. We do have multiple casts. So we have 2 kids casts, and we have adult casts rotating around. So it's Friday, double Saturday, and a Sunday.
Well, there you have it. Live theater is coming back to Fresno. Thank you, Julie, again. This was wonderful.
Thank you.